Guys, it's Mr. Spectacular here. February 28th, 2022. We're going to do a quick crypto market update. We're going to look at Bitcoin, what's happened over the last couple of days, the situation in Ukraine, how Bitcoin is utilized and affected, the possibility of America entering the war, and the situation in the foreign currency markets. So first, let's look at Bitcoin. If you've been paying attention to the charts, if not, this was the day, February 24th, when Russia officially announced their invasion of Ukraine. I remember waking up that day, 4 a.m. First thing I do, I wake up, I look at the charts, I see we're down, we're down under 35K, and I look and I'm thinking, man, something must have happened. That was the day the war started, and the markets, the risk on markets took a big hit for the first half of the day, whereas the risk of assets went up. If we look at gold real quick, this was the exact same day, February 24th. We've had a massive rally up. Same with silver, and then during the second half of the day, things reversed. Bitcoin and other risk on assets, such as stocks, went up, closed in the green. Gold went down to where it was and took a hit and closed in the red. Same across the stock market. We look at the S&P 500, again, massive week down, followed by a close in the green. Same the next day. Bit of a pullback the day after. However, we've still managed to maintain a good level. Quite similar across other indexes with the US 500, the Vanguard, the Nasdaq. Things have been looking pretty optimistic for risk on assets. If you remember what we've talked about the last couple of videos, the fear and the price movement down has been caused by the Fed announcing they were gonna be cutting the money printing and increasing interest rates. However, with the prospect of war and the possibility that the US might be entering that war, there has been a huge sentiment and optimism that in the fact that the Fed might actually do what they've done before, which is just push the can down the road, not increase interest rates, and keep on with the money printing. Because if the US were to enter the war, they have to fund it somehow. And the easiest way to do that is to just keep printing more money. That would be a significant black swan event for the markets if the US were to enter the war, and if this was actually going to become a world war. Personally, I don't think that would happen. However, the media narrative has been very strong. If you look at the world news, all you see is just headlines about the war, Ukraine, Russia, war, Ukraine, Russia. Also, some stories have also proven to be inaccurate. Couple days ago, we've had a massive headline of the bravery of Ukrainian soldiers who put up a resistance against Russian invasion, which turns out now they've actually surrendered. It was all a lie. So personally, I do not trust the media narrative. It's too overwhelming in one direction. 2 months ago, if you think about it, most people didn't care about Ukraine a single bit. Most people probably still don't know where Ukraine is on the map. So I would be very cautious when it comes to that. However, if the US were to actually enter the war, and if the war would persist, that would be a black swan event, which could most likely in the short term cause a significant flash crash, way higher than we've seen a couple days ago, similar to what we've had when the lockdowns started in March 2020. If we just go back in the chart and look at what happened March 2020. This is about where the news about the virus spreading and the lockdown starting were coming out, and we've had a 65% crash on Bitcoin alone, which was followed by tons of money printing and a massive rally up. We've gone from just under 4 grand a Bitcoin to just under 70 grand a Bitcoin. That's a 1700% increase in the space of just over a year. That is growth which is unheard of, and it was all fueled by money printing. Lots of new money entering the system, debt being cheap, which again, the crash we've had the last couple of months ago, it's caused by news of the Fed intending to start increasing interest rates, slow down the money printing, because now they don't need to worry. The problem has gone from, okay, we need to stimulate growth, to inflation is so high that we need to do something about it. If you want more info on this topic, check out the last video I did. The last episode of Technically Speaking, we went a lot more into that and where I see things going. But the key level for us, if we were gonna be bullish, is to at the very least, break and hold above 40K, which right now we are at $39,600 per Bitcoin. We're up 5% today on Bitcoin alone, 4.5% on Ethereum. It all depends on, like I said, whether we can break 40K. And if we look at some more short-term price action for Bitcoin, there's a website I like to use called coinanalyze.net. We are looking at an hourly breakdown for Bitcoin. Let me just refresh, make sure we have the most up-to-date data. We've seen, for those of you who don't know, funding is an indicator for derivatives exchanges. It doesn't really apply to spot. However, it is a good indicator for checking which direction the market might go in the short term. So we've had negative funding for the last couple hours, which indicates that a lot of people are going short. They're betting on the price going down. However, the thing to remember is most people, especially those who gamble on derivatives exchanges, they don't make money. They lose money. So usually it might be a pretty good idea to counter trade those. So we've had negative funding quite a few hours, yet we've seen the price going up, and we've had a significant green candle going upwards over the last hour. One other thing to point out is open interest. Again, that's how many longs or shorts are opening or closing. Again, we've had Bitcoin price up here at open interest. We've had a wick down on the open interest with the price moving up, which could indicate that a lot of shorts have actually closed or been liquidated. And we've had a lot more longs being open. With the funding still being negative, I'm pretty optimistic for the next, for today, and hopefully the next couple days as well. There's also news of peace talks being carried out between Ukraine and Russia. So that might be a bit of optimistic news for the end of the war and hopeful peace. I would much rather not have a war and make a bit less money than have the world be blown up and get rich off of it. However, we will see what happens. If we look at Google Trends, we've had a significant spike in the interest in Bitcoin. I believe is fueled by the amount of donations that have been pouring into Ukraine. They are accepting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether. One other thing that I have heard through a really credible source who has contacts on the ground in Ukraine. They've said that cash machines are completely empty. If you wanna go get cash, there's none. Debit cards have, for the most part, stopped working. The main means of exchange is crypto. It's Bitcoin, and on Ukrainian exchanges, Bitcoin is trading at as high as $50,000. So that's a really, really high premium to the global markets, which even during the course of this video, we've almost gone up by 1%. We are just under, we're about $100 away from breaking 40K, which if you look closer, we have attempted and got rejected from a couple times already. If we could close about 40K today, that would be really good. Let's see if there's anything happening yet with the S&P 400. Not yet. Volatility, we've had it again peak out quite intensely, come down. Now, where is my dollar currency index? There it is. Again, we've had dollar become a bit more in demand, followed by crash. So, well, not a crash, a retracement, a bit of a pullback. Before we wrap it up, let's just quickly look at the broader crypto markets. Let me just refresh this, make sure we have accurate data. Again, things are starting to look pretty green compared to yesterday. We've had Luna rally 50% this week, which, well, over the last 7 days, let's be precise. Huge demand for stable coins. Tether just under 80 billion, USDC just over 53 billion, Binance USD 18 billion, Terra UST 12, just under 13 billion. If we look at the fear and greed index, we are in extreme fear today. However, the price is still holding up fairly well. We're just under 40K. We were in extreme fear just a couple days ago, with the price being much lower. So I don't think there's much to worry about over here. And not so long ago, with the price being not so far from where it is now, we were at 45.50, right in the middle. So to reiterate, if I haven't said it already, I'm pretty optimistic for the short term. I think we are going way lower in the end. However, I am pretty optimistic for the next couple days, couple weeks. But it would all depend on what happens with the war, what Jerome Powell says this week. They have a Fed meeting Wednesday, Thursday. That will be interesting to see what's gonna happen and whether the US actually enters the war or not. Just before we leave, one other thing to look at is the foreign currency markets. We've had the US dollar had a massive, massive rally against the Russian ruble. Again, the ruble crashed against the dollar, all caused by the sanctions and the restrictions being placed by the international community on Russia. Me being from Poland and having had to grow up in a country that was post Russian influence. I was born 1995. We've had communism till 1989. So my family saw it. My mom saw it. My mom had to queue for bread for hours just to get some food for the family. So we remember what it was like, and I don't think the US, especially the West, fully understands who they're dealing with. But I'm not gonna make it a political video. If you want to know my opinion on that, shoot me a message. So guys, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. If you want to learn more about trading, charts, scanning the markets, identifying opportunities, shoot me a message. You can always book a session, as well as if you care about none of that and just want to know what to trade, what coins to invest in, when to take profits, check out our Signal service where we send you 20 trades every single month with the exact entry and exit points. So that just takes out the complete work out of your hands. All you have to do is click a few buttons and that's all taken care of for you. So if you want to check that out, the links for our Signal service are in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Instagram, check the link on our bio for the Signal service and all the other products that we have. So hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a spectacular day. Have a spectacular week. And I will see you in the next video.